Okay, well then, my friend, your 5 minutes starts now.
Nice. Well, yeah, thanks for the invite, firstly. I'm new to Canopy. I know Canopy through Stu. Stu's my entrepreneur residence mentor sort of thing from the Set Squared incubator program that I'm on in Bristol. So I run Behind Login. We're a Bristol-based competitor research and market research company built around problems within competitor research and conducting competitor research in the fintech and financial services space. So I guess, yeah, sandwiching our talks today with the ask as kind of specified by Stu. What we're looking to do at the moment is build out our proposition. It's called Release Track, and it is a competitor research platform where you can sign up and get a clear view of exactly how your competitors are evolving their digital products in near real time. So we'll share those links afterwards. But a bit of the story about Behind Login. So I used to work at Hargreaves Lansdown, the UK's biggest asset manager, where I used to manage the mobile app proposition. Teams of sort of engineers, designers, developers, all working off the strategy that I defined. And part of that strategy definition was competitor research, understanding our competitive landscape, seeing what's going on across the market, avoiding disruption, spotting innovation opportunities, all that good stuff. And for me, within fintech and within financial services, that meant me and my team opening loads of different trading accounts, investor accounts with our own money, using our own personal details, getting credit checks every time we did it, navigating the murky world of FCA policy, and generally experiencing lots of barriers and lots of pain points to competitor research. You know, sometimes we were talking to friends over in the States about what the Robinhood app looked like, or friends in the sort of South America about Nubank or whatever other apps look like. And there's generally loads of barriers to doing good competitor research. So it was a kind of problem that we had within that organization. I did a bit of a market study to see if that resonated with the wider industry. We surveyed about sort of 60 people across FS and FinTech. And 100% of people said that competitor research is important within strategy definition. 75% of those people said that it's really difficult to do it right now. And 0%, that's for me, that 0% said that there's a single appropriate tool out there to do it right now. People are putting blogs, opening their own accounts, looking here, looking there, watching YouTube videos, but there is no single source that people are using. And that was the catalyst for what is Behind Login. So to solve that competitor research problem and build out that proposition, we've done 3 core things. Firstly, we've built a global network of customers and users of all the fintech and FS financial services platforms globally. We regularly survey and interview them to understand how they're using these fintech and FS apps, what they like, what they don't like, where their needs are, where their unmet needs are. We do a lot of screen sharing where they'll talk us through the user experience, the features, what the app looks like, the interface, and that gives us a really rich view of the competitive landscape. So you can see exactly what your competitors are doing behind the login. The main way consumers engage with brands now is through digital channels. So we're providing that exposure, opening the door to that behind login experience of your competitor users experience. Alongside that, I don't know what the timer is. I haven't got the timer in front of me. How am I doing?
Doing great, mate. 3.5 minutes.
Boom. All right, we're on track. So we built our million-plus network of what we call super users. There are super users. Alongside that, we've built a piece of technology, because another challenge with competitor research, market research, is it's a snapshot in time. Speak to 1,000 people, understand how they're using their products right now, but a week later, that might be out of date because a new feature hits the market, a new piece of regulation comes in, whatever it is. So to mitigate against that risk of outdated research, we've built a toolkit that scans app store release notes, social media posts and marketing blogs, and uses machine learning to identify feature innovation. So when you have a kind of piece of communication from a company that cites something like new feature or new development or whatever, we pull that through, our tool identifies that and enables us to kind of pass that information on to our clients and make sure that we're providing always up-to-date information, and then in a really rich contextual way using that network of super users that we've got. So we've got our network of users, we've got our Release Track competitor monitoring change technology, and we've got a team of brilliant user researchers that effectively can kind of unlock the value of those 2 things. So that's us Behind Login. We are building out. So I guess we started about 9 months ago as a consultancy. We've got a few great clients there. just kind of doing bespoke projects based on client needs, whether you've got a particular product or feature on your roadmap, doing consultancy around those things. And then what we've recently launched, what Stu was mentioning and I mentioned at the start, is a subscription product called Release Track, which effectively gives you the ability to, with a light touch, cost-effective subscription, monitor exactly how your competitors are building and executing their user experiences, building their products over time. I haven't got time to go into it now, but there's a few details. We're opening up our beta, a basic version of our beta, which is free to sign up to, and you can track your top 5 competitors, app changes and updates. And then we've got a few tiers on top of that, which give you a kind of richer, more contextual competitor analysis experience.
All right, Ollie, that's 5.5 minutes. Anything else you want to close out with?
That was it. I shouldn't have asked how long I had left because I probably wasted 30 seconds there. But yeah, that's us. That's Behind Login, our new product Release Track. Head over to behindlogin.com to find out more. And yeah, look forward to hearing for any questions or any kind of feedback.
All right, and the crowd goes well. We'll give you a round of applause for that. Thank you very much. Okay, Pedro, the opening honor. What's the first question you've got there?
First of all, congratulations, Ollie. Great idea. Seems really interesting. What is your business model? And I'm talking about Release Track, which, as I know, is still in beta, but how do you plan to monetize the business? I know it's a subscription model, but it's per user or whatever.
Correct. Yeah. So we've got a subscription model. There's 3 tiers. The basic tier is free. That's what we've got at the moment. And then you've got a standard and a pro version, which have a monthly subscription cost attached to them. The subscription is based per organization and it's billed annually. And effectively I guess that's our kind of our model.
But it depends on the amount of information you retrieve or you deliver to the customer, or what makes
so so the concept is, so you get this Release Track technology, which will notify you whenever your competitors make changes. And the paid tiers offer a couple of different things, one of which is a quarterly survey of your competitors' users. So we use an innovation framework called Jobs to be Done, which enables you to identify how important different features are to users and how well they've been built, how easy they are to do for those users. So we do quarterly surveys as part of that package. You get these concepts of credits. So a credit is effectively like a mini UX deep dive into a particular feature or change. So if you think about the kind of release cadence of a lot of these digital products, half of their releases might be bug fixes and small improvements. 25% might be features that you're not necessarily interested in because you've recently built it, or it's not on your roadmap or whatever. And then there's 25% that are going to be super interesting, super critical to your organization. So you use these Behind Login credits to deep dive into the user experiences around that. And then and then there's annual playback workshops, which effectively kind of play back all the changes, engaging teams, inspiring stakeholders, all that good stuff. So there's tiers within the subscription service that unlock those capabilities.
Nice one. All right. Well, before we hand over to Rachel for her question, I just wonder, Ollie, if this is such a good idea and this is a space where I just imagine so many people are putting attention before, why has this particular way of doing things never been done before?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I don't think it's never been done. I just don't think it's been done particularly well, or it's been done and it's really expensive. So our competitive landscape, we are experts in competitor research, right? So we need to know our landscape. There's a few players in the UK and globally that are doing this. They tend to be bigger organizations. They're quite expensive. Their processes aren't particularly aligned with, because my background is product management, right? Like I lived and breathed this problem. So we've built a solution that completely aligns to those needs of that kind of role and remit within an organization. And it feels like a lot of the solutions that are out there aren't solving the problem. They've got a big library of screenshots and journeys of various apps and websites, but there's no context, and it's context that you need to have action, to make actionable outcome-based decisions off the back of it. So there are people that are doing it, and no one's doing it particularly well. And even if they are doing it well, then it's super expensive. So I think we've got a massive niche in the market that we're looking to exploit, and we'll build our moat around that.
Sounds like in a very British way, you just said you're the coolest kid in town. But let's see, Rachel, what's your question? What's your question, mate? And then we'll go to Kerry.
I was just wondering, is this geographically pinned to the UK, or can you deal with clients based anywhere?
Correct. Hey, Rachel, good to see you again. Yes, globally available, because I guess one of the challenges around competitor research is doing it in-house is you are limited by the UK, by the country that you're in. So back when I was at Hargreaves Lansdown, if we wanted to see what was happening overseas, we were very limited by the fact that we didn't have residents elsewhere. So our network of users is global. We've got 1 million people across the globe, 123 countries that we can tap into for our research, and it basically enables us to work with clients overseas in any kind of country that we need to.
A very brief follow-up question: is that global reach something that not many of your competitors have either?
I would say that competitors do have that global reach as well. In a sense, I think that a lot of these are platforms that have a set number of apps and websites that they've analyzed on them. I guess our kind of uniqueness, an additional part of our uniqueness, is that we can basically go and hunt down users of these various platforms. So it might be an obscure platform that's recently launched in an obscure country, but our research model and our researchers can go and find those people and understand what those user experiences look like. So, yeah.
Okay, let's squeeze in a Launchpad question. Thank you, Rachel. Kerry, what have you got to close this one out?
I basically missed the pitch. I'm so sorry. I was having laptop issues. So maybe just succinctly in a couple of sentences, tell me what you're all about.
Nice. All right, I'll try that. So, well, behind Login, we do deep dive UX focused competitor research, currently operating in the financial services and fintech space, but excited to explore anywhere where competitor research is difficult.
So
not bad, Ollie, you're getting more succinct.
Before moving on, just say to Ollie that he has a question on the chat.
From May, so
from
May's question is, she's curious as to how you got your 1 million super users. Where did you find them? They're not just on the doorstep, right? 1 million.
No, good question. And this is one we get asked a lot. And one of the challenges we actually got is it's not finding the users, it's engaging and retaining them. So we've basically run a series of kind of social media campaigns and referral programs. We've got a partner network that basically really quickly drummed up loads of interest. The concept of free money for your 20 minutes of your time or whatever it is quite appealing. So we really quickly grew the user base through those sorts of channels. It's now just retaining them. So, because we're still growing, we don't necessarily have a recurring need to engage with these people. So we've got to keep them warm and keep them ready to rock and roll as soon as we have a need available. So it's pivoted. I feel like you kind of get this flywheel of growth in a kind of community where a referral leads to referral leads to referral. So we can get the community and get our million super users quite easily. It's then just retaining them. So the challenge is sort of pivoted to that sort of space, but that's how we did it in the first place.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. We're going to head over to Isabel now for number 2. And you were nowhere near on time today, Ollie, but really good stuff. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks, guys.